Hey, welcome back. We're going to have another mock draft of the lottery. We're going to do one spin here, see what happens. Remember, we're not going to do any trades or anything like that. We're just going to play it straight. The Mavs dropped to 9. Okay, this is interesting. This is, of course, not what we want, but this is interesting. We see the Kings at 1. The Cavs get that Pels pick, and it's the second pick. That is, I love that for the Pels. You make stupid decisions like that, you deserve stupid outcomes. The Cavs were right there. They made a savvy move, and now they get the second pick in the richest draft in a long time. Like, goodness gracious. This second pick would have been like a first pick in most years, so it's a crazy great. The Heat jump up 10 spots. I hate that. A good team like the Heat, all the way drafting third. They're going to get a potential superstar there. The Pacers fall to 4, but get to keep their pick. I love the Wizards again. They're the worst team in the league, and yet they fall all the way as far as they can to the 5th pick. Brooklyn certainly doesn't want the 6th. The Jazz were hoping to be top 1 or 2 and get AJ, but that's not happening at 7. Okay, then the Grizzlies, who made a mockery of the league along with the Jazz for the last half of the season. They're at 8. The Mavs, who what I'm just going to call did a pretty ethical job of being bad. Called a tank, whatever. I mean, they were just really, really bad and did not get the benefit of it here. They're going to fall to 9, which I like for this simulation. I hope it doesn't happen this way on draft night, of course, but this is a real possibility mathematically, and so we need to be prepared of what it could look like. The Bulls that now have 2 first-round picks are 10, Bucks 11, Dubs 12, Thunder 13 from the Clippers, and then 14 will be that first of the 2 Hornets picks. All right, so let's start our simulation. I'm going to draft for all the teams, and just very easily, I'm going to move very quickly through these picks. The first pick's going AJ DeBonza. That's just, man, the Kings are freaking out that they get AJ DeBonza. Now, this isn't great because the Kings were my most natural team to take Acuff, around pick 4, 5, or 6. So the fact that they get AJ means who is going to take Acuff? This will be really interesting to me. Atlanta, who would the ATL love? Well, the ATL would absolutely love Caleb Wilson. I can't see them taking him too, though. Darren Peterson, do they need a shooting guard? They need a lot of things. They need a point guard. They obviously moved on from Trey. They love Trey. Trey loved them, but obviously his defensive woes just really were unworkable for them. Cam Boozer would be interesting. Let's see here. I think the ATL, it would probably be choosing between Peterson and Boozer. I think they go Darren Peterson. There. Now the Heat, who jumped up, I think it was 10 spots to pick number 3. Who feels like a Heat player here? Oh my gosh, between Boozer and Wilson, who would thrive in Heat culture? I think both of them would, is honestly. Caleb has more of that dog in him. He's got more of that defense edge in him. Wow, could Miami take Wilson over Boozer? This is something I've never considered. I've never run a mock before where the Heat got the 3rd pick. I think that's true. I don't think I've ever run a mock where the Heat were in this pick. Would they take Wilson, who feels like a Heat? Doesn't he feel like just a dog that Spoelstra would love? Now, Boozer's intellectual. Boozer's so savvy and smart. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to go Wilson. It just feels like a Heat pick to me. I don't know. This might be laughable. If anyone there's a fan of the Heat ever sees this, please comment either on Twitter or YouTube. Let me know if this is insane because I am going to go Caleb Wilson over Cameron Boozer. He feels like Heat culture to me. The Pacers, they fell to 4, but they get to keep their pick. Lucky for them. And they happily take Cam Boozer. We don't need to deliberate on that at all. The Wizards were hoping for a number 1 pick or number 2 pick, and now instead they fell as far as they possibly could. They fell to the 5th pick. That's just so wild. Who are we going to give? Now they have Young. They have Trey Young, in DC. I'm not sure if he's a part of their long-term plans. They gave up almost nothing to get him, but he isn't even 30. I think he's 28 or 29. He's an unbelievable offensive force. If you can surround him with defensive players. Kingston is a solid defender. Darius Acuff Jr. not. Keaton Wagler. They have some young shooters out there. That would be Keaton. On this one, I'll just go top of my board for the Wizards. And to me, Keaton Wagler offers the most optionality here. He's going to be a decent defender. I think he's going to be an absolutely lights out shooter from range. I think he's a clever enough driver on the ball where he'll draw fouls. I think he's a solid playmaker, passer. He's scrappy. He's a good rebounder for a guard. He's especially a good rebounder if you're playing him as a lead guard. As a shooting guard, he might be pretty average. I just love him too. I think he's super, super smart. In the interim, while they do have Trey, I just see Trae Young getting him a million open threes. Can't you see that? Trae Young breaks down his man and just finds Keaton for a million open shots. So we're going to go Keaton Wagler. I would love him next to Cooper. But I don't think there's any way in any scenario where the Mavs get Keaton Wagler. All right, Brooklyn. This has been I've started really mocking him to either the Kings or Brooklyn. Brooklyn likes to flash. Brooklyn likes to make a splash. They need a name. I think Darius Acuff Jr. here at 6 makes a lot of sense. He will make things fun and exciting in Brooklyn. He will find jamming for open shots. He's going to make a ton of plays. He's going to be throwing awesome alley-oops to their bigs. This is Acuff Jr. This is Acuff Jr. to me. Then the Jazz are just crestfallen, and I love it because they made a mockery of the league with the lineups they were putting out there. They came up with the craziest, silliest reasons not to be starting their talented lineup, and they end up at 7, and I wish it was even lower than that or worse than that. I think they go Kingston. They go Kingston or Burries, that's for sure. They need a defender next to Keontae. They need a lead guard. They're going to go Kingston. I hate that because I like Kingston, and I don't like anything good happening for Utah after the way Ainge has made a mockery of the NBA. All right. With the 8th pick, Memphis, who was right there, is equally guilty as the Jazz were in just shameless tanking. I think Ja is out of there, so this feels like a Michael pick to me. If they keep Ja, then it's Burries. If they're going to try to placate and make peace and play nice with Ja, this is a Burries or maybe a Yaxel pick. The reporting is, I don't know if this is true or not, but the reporting is that Ja's telling people that he's played the last game in Memphis, blah, blah, blah. To replace Ja Morant with a point guard with as much sauce and flavor as Michael Brown has when he's healthy. But I think this feels like a Michael pick right here. So now we've got our beloved Mavs in this difficult scenario. You might go, no, it's not difficult. We've got Braden. Maybe you're a Burries guy. I am not. I'm not taking Burries. I can tell you that right now. I won't be drafting Burries to the Mavericks, probably almost at any pick. Not with this first pick anyways. Yaxel, he might be a Yaxel guy. Go, Yaxel, take him. He's right there. Yax is right there. He meets, he's the Mr. Fix-It. He can do everything. He's a handyman. He can get out there and kind of do anything for you. Okay, cool. That's not what I'm looking for with this pick. I need someone who can have a secondary starring role for the next 10 years next to Cooper Flagg. I need that. I don't know that it's any of these guys that we see here. But the one I like the best is LeBaron Philon. I love LeBaron. I love his game. He's shifty. He's quick. He is an offensive engine. He's a competent three-point shooter. He carried such an incredible offensive load for Alabama. Like, I think his usage was 30, I think it was. It's pretty high for a college ball player. He just was their offense. And now you take him to the Mavs, you bring him to Dallas where Cooper is going to take on the largest part of the offensive load. And you allow him to just run the show. You allow him to get back to his defensive ways, which really dropped off this year. His freshman year defense was really impressive. Understandably, I think it fell off this year because of the offensive focus that was required, the offensive energy that was required of him to help Alabama excel. So I am thrilled with Philon. LeBaron Philon Jr., that's my guy. I wouldn't take him if Wagler was there. I probably wouldn't take him if Kingston was there. But I would take him, I think, over Acuff. That'll infuriate some people. And I think I know I would take him over Burries, and Yaxel's not really an option for me for the Mavs. But Yaxel is an interesting idea for the Bulls here at 10. The Bulls have the 10th pick and the 15th pick here. And I think they can get a big with that 15th pick, which will be very exciting. So I think this is where they go, Braden Burries. Now, they have some guards, right? But I think Burries projects to be the type of long-term quality player that they could really, really like. With the 11th pick, Milwaukee selects. Milwaukee needs a home run here, guys. Who's a home run? Oh, gosh, I don't think there's a... If they're moving on from Giannis, who could get those fans excited? I can tell you right now, it's either going to be Yaxel, it's going to be Mara, or it's going to be Swain, or maybe Hannes Steinbach, I guess. Who could get them excited? Oh my goodness, this is worst case scenario for Milwaukee. There's probably just not someone here that they're super thrilled about, but I do think Adai Mara projects to be a really, really good drop center, great passer, great rim protector, moves his feet better than most 7'3" humans. And I believe in him and maybe his upside a little bit more than Yaxel Lindenberg. But Yaxel is going to go right here to the Dubs. Boy, doesn't that just feel like a pick for Golden State? Yeah, Yaxel's going there. He's old, but that's not too bad. Here we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Evil Empire, and I am going to give them Jaden Quaintance. Because doesn't that just fit? Doesn't that seem like what they would do? Take the guy who's been injured, who projects to be one of the best defensive prospects we've seen in a minute. Yeah, they're going to take him and let him heal. And then to close out the lottery, let's see here. I could see Swain maybe adding some defense and some toughness to that Charlotte team that needs some defense and some toughness, some guys that will stand up and not get pushed around. I could see Morez here too. Oh man, that might be where I go. I would love to give them Hannes Steinbach. I mean, he would just come in there and dominate on the offensive glass and rebounding and scoring inside. But they just used those picks on Kalkbrenner. I'm gonna go Swain. I like Swain on the ball. I like his like hard-nosed defensive mindset. I think he's a tough guy. I like Swain here. I like Swain. That takes us through the lottery. Let's go back through it. The Kings luck out finally on a potential superstar in AJ DeBonza. The Hawks are very happy, I think, with Darren Peterson. The Heat are thrilled. I mean, there's always a party in Miami, but there's going to be a huge party in Miami for Caleb Wilson. The Indiana Pacers did not lose their pick, and guess what? They got Cam Boozer at 4. Oh my gosh, man! Rick Carlisle is going to do miracles with that guy. To pair with Trae Young, we are going to put Keaton Wagler, maybe my favorite prospect. I don't think he's going to be the best, but probably my favorite prospect in this whole draft. The Brooklyn Nets make a splash at pick 6 with Darius Acuff Jr. The Jazz certainly wanted a higher pick, but I think they will end up being very happy with Kingston Flemings. He is solid. He's going to bring a toughness and a defensive mindset to them, and he's going to let Keontae George just shoot a lot of shots. Michael Brown Jr., if healthy, might be the steal of the draft at 8. The Mavs get a guy I just love. I think a very likely pick is the Mavs picking at 9. And if they pick at 9, I hope it's LeBaron Philon or Kingston Flemings. But in this case, Kingston was gone and LeBaron was there. So Mavs get an awesome dog of a leader, someone who's going to be tough, mentally tough, and a leader of men, I think, like Cooper. I hope they would get along well and just lead the Mavs forward for the next 10 years. Because those are two dogs. Then Braden Burries goes to the Bulls. Ademara is starting things over in Milwaukee. Yaxel is going to maybe be a little patchwork in Golden State. The Evil Empire of the Oklahoma City Thunder add probably the best defensive prospect in this whole draft in Jaden Quaintance. And the Charlotte Hornets get Dalen Swain. They need a backbone there in Charlotte. They need a tough guy there in Charlotte. And Swain can be that and more. All right, y'all have a good one.